AMC has retested the top of this descending channel and is looking for a break. Buyers retest today, guys, and we see sellers step in, but buyers close slightly above that range. Now, we're going to be doing a technical analysis breakdown on AMC, checking the daily, weekly, and hourly time frames to get a close eye view perspective as well as a long-term perspective to see where we're headed, if we're going to be testing this $4 level here or if we're headed further to the downside. Now, guys, on the weekly time frame, we are trending right at all-time lows, right around that area. And I like to start with that when covering AMC because it's a very beat up stock, guys. We're trending right at that bottom, right? That bottom being that $238 level. We're at that 295. So we're trending closely and we are in a descending pattern currently. But what we can see, guys, is we got that drastic sell-off. We got all the way back down to this bottom here. Volume really flushed in. We got that spike all the way up to that $11 level. And then you see that rejection, right? Price cannot hold there. Then we chop sideways. We find this descending resistance and we have that support around that $4 psychological level. Cannot hold that, guys. We trend down. And what we do here, guys, is we double bottom, right? 1, 2. Double bottom formation, and then we start to see that ascending profile after double bottoming. But then, guys, we see sellers step back in and put us right back into a descending pattern. So we go from seeing that giant move to 11, getting crushed down, chopping around for a bit, guys. All of these candles are weak, so this is a long time of consolidation between, that $4 and that $5 rough level, as well as this descending resistance. And then, guys, we get shut back down, back to the bottom, to that floor. We get that double bounce. Price tries to come back up, but we only hit that $4 level. So we don't get back in this consolidation range. We hold lower and we get pushed down. And we get back in a descending channel. So AMC continues to do what it does best. Kind of give hope to the buyers. Come down, consolidate, looking for another leg up. Can't hold. We hit that resistance and we come back down. And then another bullish sign, right? We get that double bottom. 1, 2. Try to turn back up and we hold lower. See a little bit of a doji candle on this most recent candle. Wednesday has just closed, so we have 2 more trading days left to see if we can get a move up or down. Say we get below that bottom, would be at all-time lows, and there's really no measuring that. So you want to see price try to hold a bit higher here. All right, guys, on the daily here, so we see that we got that big move up to that $4 level, right? We're chopping around after getting past that resistance here, guys. So get that move up, right? Tap around that $5 level. As the $5 psychological level is a major level, so try to get back above it. We cannot, and that's where we see this big sell-off, right? Sellers step in here, pushing us all the way down to that bottom of that 245 level, and that's where we saw that longer-term double bottom. And then after that, guys, we get past that descending range, and from here buyers get above that 283, and then we see a lot of volume come in here, yank that stock back up, but then we find that descending resistance, and that's where we get pushed back down. Sellers step in and we get in this more narrow channel, right? Kind of bouncing back and forth, ultimately descending, so sellers are in control, and there's a little bit of back and forth. If you could see a little bit closer, guys, we have tried to escape this range 3 times, right? 1 here, twice here, and most recently, guys, today we tried to escape again. Now, the only difference with today is that we've closed slightly above it. I mean, that is barely above this range, so we are still technically in this range. But keep that in mind, buyers did try to push that out again, squeeze out that range, and sellers did step in once again for the 3rd time. And we did close slightly above this range, but nevertheless, guys, sellers did push us back down when buyers try to pull it back up. But we can also note more recently that the price action we've been seeing is a bit more tight in this range than we're used to seeing, right? We see this volatile move up and down. Volatility is still there, big moves up and down, and not a lot of consolidation. And we keep getting that descending movement. See a little bit of consolidation here, but we really see consolidation tighten up right in this range. And that's where we get our best move and attempt out of this narrow channel. As long as buyers can hold that $283 level, I think it's probable we see a bounce here again and then trying to get out of this range, as this is a very important level. 283 level that really aided that big movement up all the way to that $4 psychological level. So this is some serious support, guys. We've bounced here multiple times, right? Bounced on that level right here, got that leg up, flushed that level, got back up, and then we try to hold that support zone once again, try to bounce. We cannot flush it. We get tight there, but once we get above it again, guys, that's where it aids that big movement up. So the fact we are back there and we are getting a bit more tight compared to this relative range definitely looks decent for the buyers. Nevertheless, we are still in this descending range. So as long as we're in this descending channel, guys, we stay bearish. Sellers are obviously in more control here, but if buyers can get that leg up, I think it would be here. If we do come back down, trend to that support level, bounce 1, 2, we could get enough juice, guys, to really break out of this range and trend higher. So definitely a possibility. I think if we get out of this range, it could be here. If not, we would have to test retest that low of 260, where that's been an excellent support as well. It's held multiple times on this more recent downtrend. We get to that point, and you see all the bounces, guys. It holds up very nicely. So if this cannot hold, very, very likely that we get back down, test that range, see if we can bounce there. And if that can't hold, guys, looking extremely bad for the buyers. But in the short term, I think we could see that leg up if this level can hold and we can trend back up. That being said, we do remain slightly bearish on the daily, given we are still in this channel. Keep a close eye on the volume, as when volume spikes up, guys, it really aids these big moves up. So if we get a lot of buying pressure coming in here, we definitely could see that leg up given the strong support. And if buyers are in the mix with the volume, definitely probable we see a very aggressive spike up, possibly getting all the way through to that 324 type of range where we could consolidate there. Very much an exit pathway, not a lot of chop, but wouldn't be surprised to see a very volatile move up if we ended up breaking out of this narrow range that we are in now, given that AMC is no stranger to these very drastic movements up and down. All right, guys, now on the hourly, we see a better perspective on how we closed here. So did close above it slightly, right? So we got up in this channel. You can see all the other attempts at getting out, right? We wick over it for some hourly candles. You can see here, guys, one candle get shut down, few hourly candles get shut down, trend at the top of that range, and then we trend back to the bottom of that range. Sellers are in that ultimate control. Buyers try to push it back out. Once again, wick over it. And we see a nice green bar right over that range, but we cannot hold. We get pushed back down to the bottom of that range, but instead of going all the way to the bottom, testing that support once again, we do hold at that 283 quite nicely, given that that's a very strong support. Bounce for multiple hourly candles, come back down, bounce once again on hourly candles, and then you guys see that movement out. We see that very nice green wide bar, best green wide bar we've gotten so far out of this channel. But then you see that selling pressure green wick, and for traders that don't know what that means, guys, it means that sellers have stepped in here. When you see a very tall wick, that is selling pressure. If you see a very long bottom wick, that is buying pressure, which makes sense because we are getting out of a pretty important range. But then sellers step back in, seeing 3 red candles in a row, but we are still trending above this range, and we are holding the best out of all the attempts that we gotten before, guys. Definitely a possibility we use this as support and trend upwards. Not out of the question. I mean, if this is a break, it's going to happen within the next day or two of trading. If not, guys, we probably get back into this range, see if that level of 283 can hold. If not, looking towards that 261 support level, guys, and looking for a move off that. So we stay neutral slash, slightly bearish, but I do think this type of price action is nice to see, as we've never really gotten this tight on a support level in this descending range. We've kind of just been descending, bouncing off this, descending support. We hold up against that 283 level instead of bouncing off that support level once again. Wouldn't be surprised to see price, possibly hold this as support, continue to trend upwards and break through that $3 level. Would be nice to see as the bulls. If not, guys, it's likely that we get back in this range here. Try to bounce off that support. If we can bounce off this, would get tighter in this overall formation. Look for another breakout. And the other case scenario is, guys, we do get back in this range and we don't hold the support. Get back in that range and see if that 260 can hold. If the bulls can make a move now, we could see a possible move to the upside if we could use this as support, continue to trend up, or if we can use that 280 as support, get really, really tight in this range, then break out once again, solidifying our breakout of this narrow range. AMC is definitely in an interesting spot here. If we can break that narrow range, definitely looking decent to the $4 level and the $5 level in the medium term, guys. And I think that AMC could see some buying pressure and momentum on their side. In recent times, after hitting that $11 level, like we were looking on the weekly, guys, definitely been in this descending slash consolidation type of formation. We have double bottom like we discussed, and we have moved up, but we are trending right back down to that bottom. So a move out of this channel and a test of around that $5 level would be very nice to see, guys, in this instance. And with the breakdown I gave you guys, make sure you stay patient. Don't get into a trade right away. Right, make sure we get out of that range and stay patient and smart with this one, guys. If you want to see more AMC content, make sure to like and subscribe, as I'll continue to cover AMC as well as other major tickers on the channel. I appreciate you guys watching the entire video. Trade smart, and I will see you all in the next one.